In this video, I will be reviewing the Sony E 70-350mm f4.5-6.3 G OSS lens. This is a hidden gem in Sony's lens lineup for its APS-C sensor cameras. At $999, it's not cheap for an APS-C lens, but I think it's worth the price tag. When attached to an APS-C camera, the full-frame equivalent focal range becomes 105 to 525 mm, and this makes it a decent wildlife and birding lens. Sony managed to make this lens impressively compact and lightweight. Moreover, this is a G-class lens and sports advanced features such as focus hold buttons and fast linear focusing motors that we are not used to see often in Sony's typical APS-C lenses. This lens weighs only 625 grams and has a length of 142 mm. Let's compare its size with some other Sony lenses in its class. The 70-300mm G, the 70-200mm f4.5-6.3 and the 100-400mm GM lens. Here you can see a more drastic size difference with a lens that I recently reviewed, the Sony 200-600mm, even when the 70-350 is fully extended. Check the difference when each lens is attached to a suitable camera body. I like that the 70-350mm and the A6700 fit into my small shoulder bag. This makes a great wildlife and birding package that is small and easy to carry with you all day. The zoom ring on this lens is a bit hard to rotate, but it may very well be specific to my copy. The zoom ring is wide though, which is good, and it takes only 90 degrees rotation to go from 70 to 350 mm. The focusing ring is also tight as well and a bit noisy, but lets you make fine adjustments without a problem. The lens hood is plastic and relatively compact for a lens with 350 mm teleend. I personally don't have any problems with plastic hoods. They are light and they absorb the energy. This minimizes the damage in case the lens somehow falls on its hood first. The lens hood retails for $45 in case you lose it or break it. The 70-350mm has a filter thread of 67mm, which is a standard and easy to find size. The lens is weather sealed as all other Sony G lenses. Here you can see the seal around the camera mount. And here is an illustration of the extensive seals on the lens body, located around the switches, buttons and the zoom and focus rings. There are three switches on the lens body. The first one is the AF/MF switch. The second one is the OSS on and off switch. Sony recommends turning off the stabilization when the camera is mounted on a tripod. The third switch is a zoom lock that locks the lens at 70mm wide end so it doesn't creep with the gravity or vibrations while carrying the camera in hand or hanging from a strap. I didn't experience significant creep even when this is not locked. This may be due to the tightness of the zoom mechanism. Besides the switches, there is also one focus hold button which can be customized for another function via the camera menus. I have tested the optical stabilization performance of this lens, both with the A6400 with no IBIS and the A6700 that have an IBIS. Results were equally good in both cameras, effective up to 5 stops compensation. The 70-350mm is a variable and slow aperture lens. This is how the aperture changes with the focal length. 70-81mm f4.5, 82-130mm f5, 114-199mm f5.6 and 200-350mm f6.3. Kudos to Sony for deploying its advanced XD linear motor technology on the 70-350mm lens, which is generally reserved for its higher-end full-frame lenses. Focusing is extremely snappy and accurate with both my A6400 and A6700 cameras under good light. In low light situations, locking takes a bit longer but still accurate, and it is totally silent. No matter if you pair it with the latest gen A6700 or the previous gen A6400, the AF tracking performance of the 70-350 is consistently very good. The minimum focusing distance of the 70-350mm is 1.1 meter or 3.6 feet, which I am not very happy about. The lens at this distance provides a maximum magnification ratio of 0.23x, which is not too bad, but nothing special either. Here you can see the image quality at 350mm at minimum focusing distance. The F8 gives slightly better sharpness than f6.3 and f11 is better than f8. Over f11, the resolution goes down due to diffraction. Right off the bat, I can say that Sony delivered something special with this lens. Despite covering the wide 5x zoom range, this lens somehow manages to return sharp results across the zoom range. By the way, here you can see the framing in different focal lengths starting from 70mm all the way to 350mm. The lens gives good contrast and sharpness both in the center of the frame as well as off the center and corners. No, it won't replace primes in any specific focal length, but give you close to prime performance throughout the zoom range. But don't forget that this is a slow aperture lens, so you need a lot of light to get the best results. The effective image stabilization will help you with static objects under low light. Another side effect of slow aperture is the poor out of focus area separation, hence less creamy bokeh. In order to get the most pleasing bokeh from this lens, you gotta avoid busy backgrounds and make sure there's enough distance between the main subject and the background. Sony did a great job minimizing the chromatic aberrations in this lens. If you look under 100% or 200% magnification, especially in overexposed backlit scenes, you can see them, but they don't cause any issues in real-life scenarios. Flaring is well controlled. There is some loss of contrast if there is a bright light source in the frame, but not very distracting. Let's talk about 4 potential alternatives to this lens in E-mount. The first one is the Sigma 100 to 400mm that retails for $899 US. It is larger but has 50mm more reach. The Tamron 70 to 300 sells for $499 US only, but optical performance and feature-wise, it's not in the same league with the Sony. Tamron 50 to 400mm is more flexible thanks to its 8x zoom range, but weighs almost twice the Sony and is priced $300 more. Finally, the Tamron 18 to 300mm super zoom lens. Optically, it's nowhere close to the Sony, but offers excellent versatility with its 16x zoom. Here you can see how these 5 lenses compare side by side. The only lens that is more compact than the Sony is the Tamron 18 to 300mm. After reviewing this lens in various scenarios, I honestly think that this lens doesn't get the attention that it deserves. It is compact, lightweight, has excellent image quality, fast and accurate focusing, on-body controls, weather sealing, and an effective image stabilization system. Only downsides I could find are the low maximum magnification and tight zoom and focus rings. Otherwise, it's hard to resist this lens if you are invested or interested in Sony's crop sensor camera system. I truly hope you find this video informative and that it helps you make a well-informed decision about the Sony 70 to 350mm lens. If you enjoyed this review and found it helpful, please consider liking this video and subscribe to my channel. We have a lot of exciting content coming your way.